Hello and welcome to English with Shirley. What happens when you are giving a poem either in school or college or in an examination, an entrance examination? We get very anxious, worried. Oh my God, it's a long one. I don't know. Why? Because most of the time we are looking for answers instead of understanding the poem. So today, let us see a different way of looking at a poem. The poem that we are going to do is by Cold Nap Lake. That's the name of the poem, Cold Nap Lake by Gillian Clark. He is a poet from Wales. This is the background I'm telling you. The poem is based on a real memory from her childhood. The poetess, Gillian, she's talking about her childhood. Now, before we read the complete poem, we need to understand a few words and phrases that we may come across in the poem. Here are a few words: frock, webs, thrashed, blooms, dread, willows, Saturday, and bleating. Now what happens when we look at the words again, we get scared. It is not necessary that when a particular word, for example, dread, let's say we don't know the meaning of the word dread, but when we read the sentence either a little above the word or a little below the word, let's say, for example, enormous fear. We definitely somehow knew the word fear, being afraid. So dread is a larger form of it. Let's say bleating, okay? Crying sound usually made by a lamb. Yes, lamb bleats. Okay, thrashed. Let's say we don't know. Hit, beaten. Many people were beaten. Synonyms: thrashed. Likewise, you have a few words and phrases here. The first thing we need to do is to understand them. Next, we have a look at the poem. I'll be reading 2 stanzas and then we'll be discussing it further on. So listen carefully. Cold Nap Lake by Gillian Clark. We once watched a crowd pull a drowned child from the lake. Blue-lipped and dressed in water's long green silk, she lay for dead. Then kneeling on the earth, a heroine, her red head bowed, her wartime cotton frock soaked. My mother gave a stranger's child her breath. The crowd stood silent, drawn by the dread of it. Now, let's look here. These sentences are asking you whether they are true or not with respect to the poem that you have just heard. Now, lots of people were at the lake. Lots of people. Do we have a word here? Lots of people. Oh, crowd. So that means this answer is true. Next, the child died in the water. Is it? It says drowned. She lay for dead. There is no reference of her being dead. She lay for dead. She lay down as if she was dead. But is she actually dead? There is no reference. So it says false. The poet's mother saved the child. Let's see where. Oh, my mother gave a stranger's child her breath. Yes, yes. The poet's mother saved the child. True. Likewise, you have a number of sentences here. I have explained how to look at the poem. Whether these things appear in the poem, in what form they appear. You have to take care of that. And in the end, write the word to fill the gaps. Now it says, was I there? Okay, it's further on in the poem. Was I there, or is that troubled surface something else? Was I there, or is that troubled? You've got your word. You have to copy the word from here. Now, what is troubled surface? Can a surface be troubling? Means it is not good. Probably it is destroyed. Yes? Shadowy under the dipped. Shadowy under the dipped fingers. Fingers of willow. Willow is a tree. It's overhanging. Under the fingers of willow, it's overhanging. So it has been compared to that of a finger, the overhanging willows. Don't get anxious, don't panic. Whenever it's a poem, think, what is the background? What is the background? The poetess here is talking about her own life. Get the words and phrases. In order to get it, look a line above and look a line below. You will definitely be able to understand. It is not easy to learn the synonyms, the meanings of each and every word. The word list is huge, dictionary is huge. After this, true and false. Have a look at the poem and try to analyze, think whether, like for example, it says the mother saved the child. Yes, she gave her own breath. It's like saving. If you give your breath, it's like saving. And then here there are words of vocabulary. The surface is troubled. I am a lot troubled today because of the lockdown. Means I'm in a disturbed state. I'm not happy. So the surface is not good. Probably it is destroyed. Once you have been able to understand how to look at the poem, I shall be posting the questions and answers. It's the same, the way we have done here, but it's in a proper format. Should you know something more, feel free to ask me. Till then, happy learning. Bye-bye.